On this episode, I'm showing you how to celebrate the holiday season with a peppermint whoopie pie. It's vibrant, it's got that fresh peppermint taste, and it's a great way to use up all of those candy canes. Add 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour to the bowl. All-purpose flour is the best flour to use when you're making whoopie pies. A cake flour would be too light. Baking soda is going to be a leavening agent. That's going to lighten up the baking mixture. Cocoa powder adds a nice richness to it. I always like to whisk dry ingredients together to make sure they're incorporated. Now when it comes to the wet ingredients, we're going to cream 8 tablespoons of butter. That's a stick of butter, by the way. Always use unsalted. And we're going to add some brown sugar. Brown sugar is white sugar with 10% molasses. Now we're looking to lighten the mixture up. We're going to add 1 cup of buttermilk. So we're just gently adding it into that sugar butter mixture, just incorporating it slowly to lighten up that mixture. And what we want to do now is add an egg, and that's at room temperature. At room temperature, it gives it a better leavening. Your cake's going to be lighter. Now that we've incorporated these ingredients together, you can see how light that mixture is now. We're going to add the flavoring. 2 teaspoons of almond extract. This gives it a real good holiday feeling. Adding red food coloring is going to give it that red velvet color. And when it's the holidays, we love to see red and green. So just mixing it in. And I know as you look at this, you think that doesn't look right, but I promise once you add the flour, it's going to incorporate nicely. Give it a gentle mix in with your spatula, and now you can go back in with your hand whisk. And as you do this, make sure you go around all those sides. You may want to stop halfway through and give it a scraping down, just to make sure everything incorporates nice and evenly. Parchment paper has a tendency to slide on a baking tray. A good tip for you is take a small amount of the cake batter and place some in the 4 corners of the tray. Top it with the parchment paper and you won't have the actual parchment paper slipping everywhere. Just press it down. You can use any scoop you want. I like to use a 1.5 tablespoon scoop. Using a spatula just to clean around the edges before we go over to the parchment paper. We're looking to separate these about 3 inches apart. So as you can see, I'm going to be baking 8 on a tray. So just separating each time, because these are going to spread and they're going to make a large dome. Bake these for about 12 minutes, rotating halfway through. Now look, when they come back, you can see how they've spread. Let's make some frosting. I'm going to make a buttercream frosting for this one. Let's lighten up the butter like we did earlier on. And now we're going to add some confectioner's sugar. Give that a mixing, and with your hand mixer, gently incorporate that in till it gets nice and fluffy. And they're going to add a holiday taste to this with some peppermint and a small amount of heavy cream. If the mix is too thick, add some more heavy cream. If it's too light, add a bit of confectioner's sugar. Get to a place where it's just light and lovely. Look at that mixture. Take some candy canes, place them into a sealable bag, and then you just want to give these a bashing. I'm using my rolling pin. You could use a meat mallet for this, or you could use the back of a cast iron skillet. We're just looking to crush them, not too big, because remember, it's got to be palatable. Now take one of the cakes, place it down and place a scoop of that frosting and spread it out. Top it with another side of the cake. Now dip this in those candy canes. Look at that. Just take a look. It's the perfect whoopie pie. Tell me that doesn't look fabulous. It's crunchy, it's soft and creamy, and it's got that light red velvet cake.